Attention for a minute, please. Hare Krishna. Hari Bo. Could I have your attention? There's two things that I would like to. Oh, could I have some attention, please? Kripaya dhyan lijiye. I learned that on the airplane. I'd like to read a couple of verses about Harinam. And before I do that, I would like everybody to look just behind the cameras here. And you see one smiling brahmachari standing there with his hands folded in front of his face. He's a dear friend of mine, and he's a dear disciple of a dear friend of mine, whose name is Srila Shivaram Swami Maharaj. And I think many of you are aware that Shivaram Swami Maharaj has spent the past 25 years of his life in a wonderful literary pursuit in volumes of literature entitled Krishna in Vrindavan. And Ananda Chaitanya here, he is Maharaj's representative. He's been in America for a month now, North America. Unfortunately, all of the books which he brought with him, all of the sets of books that he brought, have already been purchased by devotees who are very eager for Krishna Katha. But if there are other devotees here who are very thirsty to hear the nectarian pastimes of Krishna, then contact Ananda Chaitanya, because he has examples of the books that you can see. And then you can order, and he will have them sent to you. Our Shivaram Swami Maharaj, he writes, first of all, he has studied the Goswami literatures very, very much in depth. And he has read these pastimes of Krishna for a long time. And then he sits and he becomes absorbed in the pastime that he wants to describe, and it's very, very beautiful. Recently, Shivaram Swami Maharaj received a letter from His Holiness Satsarup Maharaj, who was glorifying Shivaram Maharaj for being the most excellent writer on Krishna's Leelas and Krishna's pastimes, which was a great honor for Maharaj, because he's always seen Satsarup Maharaj as one of his writing gurus. And the books are just like jewels if you look at them. They're printed so beautifully, and all of the books have original artwork. So everybody here, please check with Ananda Chaitanya. There's a table in the back you can go by, you can look and see the nectar which is there, and then you can make an order and they will be dispatched to you. Toot sweet. And now we'll read just a couple verses. This verse has been written by Srila Rupa Goswami. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. Then we desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all of the senses become inert. Just by this process that we're engaged in, chanting and meditating on the sound Krishna. Here the verse is saying, when I chant Krishna, immediately I want to have millions of tongues, because it is such a nice thing, and it is so nectarian. And when I hear, I want to have many millions of ears to catch the nectar of Krishna. And then those two syllables, Krishna, dance in the courtyard of the heart. And the effect is your mind becomes absolutely peaceful. No more hankering, no more lamentation, no more thinking of this, thinking of that, but just absolute serenity within the heart, and the senses come under control. Srila Rupa Goswami has instructed us in the Nectar of Instruction, Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrito Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyoga Tishtan Braje Tad Anuragi Jananagami Kalam Nayed Akilam Iti Upadesar. He has said that the sar, or the essence of all the activities of bhakti, is to engage in hearing about the Nam Rupa Guna Lila, the name, form, pastimes, and Krishna, and pastimes and activities of Krishna, 24 hours a day. And he states Sukirtanam. We have Kirtanam and then Sukirtanam. Sukirtanam means the offenseless chanting of the holy name. And he says that by engaging ourselves in that way 24 hours a day, then the mind and the senses, they become perfectly controlled. And this is the goal of every yogic process, control of the mind and control of the senses. But then he says that's coming to the position of perfection. But beyond that, he says our activities are tishtan braje tad anuragi jananudami. He says in our perfect state of consciousness, then we will observe the servants of Krishna in the spiritual world, and we will find one that we particularly admire, and then we're meant to follow in the footsteps and perform devotional service in that way. So this is the potential of this chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Another verse. A miser, considering his wealth more dear to him than his very life, wholly absorbs himself in how to increase his precious possessions as he goes on accumulating more and more. And at the same time, he hides his riches from his friends and family members out of fear that they may steal them. It sounds like the typical story of this world, doesn't it? O merciful Lord, you should be kind to me, and in the same way, let me collect your innumerable, supremely enchanting names from the treasure of the scriptures, and always be completely submerged and deliberating on this invaluable wealth of your precious names. This is a blessing for us all. May Krishna's holy name, which is a reservoir of all transcendental happiness, which is the destruction of Kali Yuga's sins, which is the most purifying of all purifying things, which is the saintly person's food as he traverses the path to the spiritual world, which is the pleasure garden where the voices of the greatest saints, philosophers, and poets play, which is the life of the righteous and the seed of the tree of religion. May that holy name of Krishna bring transcendental auspiciousness to you all. So, these are just a few verses, but there's so many verses that repeatedly explain to us that for us to attain perfection in the process of Krishna consciousness, we must become adept and we must become attuned to hearing about Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila. This is the true definition of Sankirtan. Practically it's stated on each page of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Certainly it's stated throughout Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even the last verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, after everything is said, after everything is done, after the whole story is completed in Srimad Bhagavatam, the last words spoken in the Srimad Bhagavatam are always chant the holy names of the Lord, always bow your head with humility at the feet of the Lord, and your lives will be very perfect. So we owe a debt of gratitude to Kishore Mani and Mataji for inviting us here for the function this weekend. It's their deity's Radhe Shyam's first birthday celebration. We just cut a cake for the deities in the temple room, and we're so happy and honored to be here, and especially we're so happy and honored to be here with so many loving Vaishnavas who relish the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. So we will sing kirtan for a few minutes, and we will chant the Radha Kripa Kataksha. Hare Krishna.